Hello, today I will show you how to use the HTTP request node in a Makyo workflow. So first, let's start with the GET action, which allows you to retrieve some data from an API endpoint. So we will use as URL a test endpoint. This test endpoint will just return a mock data. You can also add some query parameters, and you can add some timeout. So let's test it. And you can see that we have a valid response with a 200 OK answer, meaning that it was valid. And you can see the payload, which is mock information. So API calls allow you to go further than what is available in Makyo actions, meaning that if a connector is not available, you can still use the API node in order to reach an external service. So this was the GET action. And now let's see a more advanced example with the POST action. So this allows you to send some data to an external application and to receive the response. So in this case, we use an external service called Apollo, which is an outreach service, and we use their people match endpoint. We have added a 30 seconds timeout. We need to fill the headers where we have the API key header with the API key, the content type with application/JSON, and we have a body which is quite simple, sending the email that we want to enrich via Apollo. Of course, this body will be specific to each service that you want to use, and you need to verify the documentation of this external service, in this case Apollo, to know exactly what payload to send to it. You can also have more specific authorization types if you need. So let's test this API. And you can see that the call was successful. We have a 200 OK response, and we get the data from Apollo based on the email that we sent in the body. And you can see that in the body, we defined a variable called email for which we used a pil value from the repeater, which is this value, this email value. So this is dynamic data that we take from the Makyo page. Once you've used the get and post actions, you can also go check out some more advanced actions that you can use with HTTP requests, such as put, patch, delete, head, and options.